Sorry about that. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in and sticking with me. This is the third video of vlog 42, the little things. I tend to get, when I talk about something, I tend to not pay attention to the time, so I apologize. Okay. So, I was talking about having a home. That we tend to think that it isn't a huge deal. That taking care of a house is definitely huge. Paying it off and cleaning it up and repairs and stuff like that. That can be kind of an issue. But that's all part of taking care of a house. Some people don't have houses. Like I said about the homeless, they don't have a home. They're living under a bridge or on a park bench or something. And, you know, they're not. I've actually have met some homeless people, and I actually sat down and talked with them for a little bit. This one in particular, I think his name was Phil, and I didn't want to pry. I didn't want to make him uncomfortable or angry. But I just said that, I'm out walking around right now. He actually asked me if I could buy him a cheeseburger, so I did. He wanted money from me, and I said, no, I'll go and get you something, because you, I don't mean to be rude to these guys, but whenever you give them cash, it's always going to alcohol or drugs. So never give them cash. If they want something, if they ask for something, you physically go buy that. So then you know what you're getting. Alright? Because in a sense, you're helping them too. So, anyways, but, as soon as I got him the cheeseburger and I sat down and I talked with him, I asked him what happened. And I said, you don't have to share if you don't want to. I said, there is someone who still cares about you and still loves you. And you're probably thinking, oh, he doesn't care. And, and he actually spoke to me about God, which was crazy. Because I was talking to him about God. He said that, despite what had happened in his life, that he was in the military, he was promised a house, but when he got back, his house was foreclosed. He didn't have a steady income. And so he's been on the streets. He's been in and out of homeless shelters. And so I recommended to him to Salvation Army, where they have little dorms for you to stay in, to help you out with like rehab and stuff like that. So I gave him the address and the number and everything, and he went there. As far as he said he was going to, I don't know if he ever did, but you saw the enjoyment, despite of what he's gone through, that he was thankful to be alive. And he knew that any day he could be gone. So when he showed the appreciation for me buying him a cheeseburger, I mean, that obviously made his day. And that's what I'm entitled to do. That's what we are all entitled to do, is to put others before ourselves. And I'm always saying that to people that I know, friends of mine, putting others first before yourself. Like the loved ones. You could get a good friendship out of it. You know what I mean? But having a home is very important. And it's not such a little thing. like you think it is. It's huge. Because again, it could easily be taken away. Just like it was for the guy who served with the military. Alright, moving on. Number 8. Freedom of speech. Well, let's touch a little bit on that. What is freedom of speech? I think people tend to fear on saying how they feel because there is a thing called consequences. And you may say something that you feel isn't that is extremely important to you, but it can get you into trouble. So then people tend to be fearful and don't say anything at all, and they miss their chance at expressing how they feel, and so they continue living on with the pain that they're already going through. Now, I'm going to talk about God again, because He's my Savior. Whether you believe in Him or not, I tell you, I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for God. I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for Him and giving me life in general. You know, but there are people who want to take out God. Like for schools and stuff. What is it? The Pledge of Allegiance. They want to take His name out of it. Another thing. You can't have Bibles in schools. All these things. People are fearful to talk about God because of being ridiculed. And that's what upsets me. I'm not bagging on other communities out here who want to be accepted, and they are, but then they complain about something else. They complain about religion. Religion isn't a bad thing, guys. It's how you make of it. It's how you, it's you, the person, who sees it. You know what I mean? Like, religion is a choice. You choose to believe in what you want to believe. And if you want to be accepted, then you should accept them. You should accept that religion is for some people. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too political, even though I kind of already did. But if we all want to be treated as equals, then we need to respect everyone. And if you believe in something, if you think about people throwing strikes because they're not getting enough money, whatever, they're speaking their mind because maybe they are working their butt off, but they're not getting anything for it. I would get that. That's your freedom of speech. But then, again, you're apprehended for things that you say because you tend to overthrow the freedom of speech. But I'm going to tell you that, again, what I'm doing here on YouTube, on Facebook, when I talk about God, I'm using my freedom of speech to speak to you. And YouTube can easily take it off. Facebook can easily take it off if it's something that they don't like. But lately, Facebook has allowed me to say things like this, and YouTube has allowed me to say things like this. Speak about God. Speak the truth. I'm using this PDA. Sorry, that was actually me. I'm not gonna blame it on the dog. Although sometimes she does bark. Okay, now I'm going on topic again. I'm so sorry. It's my ADD, guys. Freedom of speech, guys. Very important. If you have something to say that you totally believe in, that's worth saying, say it. Because let me tell you, if you don't say it, you miss your chance. You're gonna go the rest of your life thinking, why didn't I do that? You know what I mean? So freedom of speech, again, I mean, YouTube. Most people do video game reviews and stuff like that, movie reviews, filming themselves on roller coasters and stuff. That seems to be a little bit more entertaining than what I'm doing. It's whatever, you know what I mean? But I'm using my freedom of speech to speak to you about things that we do go through, that I've been there and that I'm still going through. And I want to help you guys. I want us to help each other, despite of what we believe in. My church that I go to always talks about how us Christians need to bring the outer circle, so the people that aren't normally in our circle, together. And that is you. That could be you. Alright, last one. Number 9. I'm going to have to make this quick. Guys, I realize it's probably going to be 4 videos. I'm so sorry. Freedom of, your mind. People tend to take what they have in their mind for granted. Now, that's another thing that I had kind of an issue of wanting to talk about, because I don't know what quite they're saying here. I got this list off of Google, so, But I'm going to put my own interpretation of it, just like I did with, what was the other one? Census. I'm going to talk about me, alright? Because I used to complain to God about, why do I have the mind of a squirrel? And I'm not trying to be funny, but there's times where I feel like my brain is just infected with stupidness. Because it is, essentially. But I have ADD. I've been honest with you guys about that. I have attention deficit disorder. And a little bit of ADHD. That's only on a good day, though. ADD is where I can't focus on one thing. That my mind is always elsewhere. So, school for me was really difficult to focus, to pay attention in. I had to sit up in front of the class every time in order to pay attention, because otherwise, if I was further back, I'd be listening to other conversations or something like that. I'd get sidetracked and I would not hear what is going on. And for math, I suck at, and I'm being completely honest with that. I'm glad I graduated and everything, and if I go to college, obviously I got to work on that. But I didn't get higher than a 6th grade level of math. So think about it. Alright guys, I really will have to continue this in another video. I do apologize. Please continue to stick with me. Kai Louie will be back.